Hey guys, it's Jonathan. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about growth and the fact that growth isn't automatic. It's something that you have to do intentionally. And I'll start out with a story. It was my first marathon I'd ever run, and I met this guy at the start line, and we were talking, and he said, "Hey, I really didn't train for this. I run 5Ks all the time. How hard could it be? Just keep on running." And thinking to myself, I was thinking how hard I had trained for this event, and I was a little bit worried for him because I kind of understood what it was going to take to get to 26.2 miles as compared to the 5K. So the race started, and at mile one, of course, he shoots out of the starting line like it's a 5K. And I caught back up with him about mile three, and I could see he was struggling a little bit. And then by mile five, I never saw him again. Growth has to be intentional. Kind of like training for a marathon, you have to intentionally grow. You have to intentionally prepare for the challenges ahead. And just like that guy who was running that marathon didn't train for it, that pain is automatic. That pain is automatic, but growth isn't. You can't drift into success. You kind of have to plan for it. You can drift into struggle quite easily, but to get to success, you have to plan, and you have to make sure you know where you're going. Growth requires intention. Growth doesn't just happen. It's a Maxwell thing. He says it all the time. Growth doesn't just happen. Drift is what's natural. Growth is intentional. And if you're pursuing growth, you have to make sure you're not drifting backwards. So at Walmart, one of the key themes is that we're always swimming upstream. And if you're swimming upstream, the only thing that's going to happen if you're drifting is that you're going to go backwards, right? So we have to continually plan. And if you want to grow, to make sure that you have a target, you're doing something every day to make sure that you are going toward that target if you want to grow. And habits. So your identity determines your habits determine your growth. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. So your identity is driving your behavior forms your habits, and your habits shape your future. Your future self depends on today's choices. So what we want to do is make sure that every day we're doing something intentional to move toward the goals that we have, right? To move toward our growth goals. If you want to grow in leadership, you need to be learning, reading, watching something about leadership every day, some topic from a leader, reading a book from a leader that you know is doing it well and that helps you grow. Get a leadership mentor who you know that is going to help you grow in your leadership skills, maybe something that you want to improve on, something that maybe is a strength already. From a scale of 1 to 10, you may be a 7 on it. You want to get that strength to a 9 or a 10. That's the type of growth you're looking for. Every day, I'm going to grow this thing. And then tomorrow, if I think I've got to a 9 or a 10 on that one, what's the next thing I want to grow on? We want to grow our strength with that plan to intentionally get better at that thing and practice it. Learn a little bit, do a little bit every day. We're growing those habits for our future self with those today's choices. And consistency is the secret sauce. This motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going, is what John says when it's the law of consistency. Consistency really is greater than intensity. So like from the story when we first started, that guy's intensity was hot for the first 2 or 3 miles, but he couldn't consistently keep going because he outran himself. He couldn't hit 26.2. If he did, I didn't see him because I was already past him because I understood how to pace myself consistently to get that 26.2. Small steps done daily beat big efforts done occasionally. So we all know those folks who they see a problem and they'll sprint out ahead and they'll try to do their best to make something happen, but end up failing because they lose that determination, that discipline that it was going to take to get to the end of that goal that they really wanted. We want to make sure we take small steps daily to beat those big efforts done occasionally. And growth compounds when you show up every day. Okay? It's okay to miss a day, but don't miss 2, right? Keep going consistently. Change out some habits if you have to. Build a habit of daily growing. If you have too many habits right now, then maybe you need to drop one so that you can get onto a habit that's going to lead you to the growth that you want to see every day, right? And the closing challenge to you is, are you drifting right now? There are seasons in our leadership journey, just life journey, where we feel like, hey, we're just going through the motions. And when you're just going through the motions, you really are drifting. Whether you believe it or not, everything else around you is changing. And if you're just going along the same way you always have, you're going to end up getting pushed and just drifting into the bushes. You ever been on a canoe and you've been pushed, you're kind of going upstream, you're pushed into some bushes, and you're like fighting the wasp off of you that are hanging in the tree? Like, yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are changing every day, or growing every day, so that we can tackle whatever new challenges come at us each day, right? Change one intentional step today. Growth's available, but it's never automatic.